I used to be someone who didn't believe in anything. My family's not religious, so I never got pushed to believe anything I didn't want to. When I turned 14, I looked at society, I looked at the system, I looked at jobs, and I saw that there was no real good option. Every option seemed like complete trash. No degree, no subject sparked me. It all looked like complete dog shit. And I realized at 14 that, if I don't change anything now, then I'm going to be stuck at a job I don't like. So I looked around and I really enjoyed playing video games. That's what I was addicted to, although I didn't see it as an addiction at the time. I had an incredibly strong desire to be a YouTuber. I gave it a go, but my personality wasn't of someone who could scream into a camera, who could give exaggerated reactions. So what was the next option? Become a professional, become so good at a game that I can earn a living from it. So that's exactly what I did. For 3 years of my life, I sat there for 12 to 15 hours a day playing video games all day, every day. And at 17, I was earning a living, traveling the world and competing in tournaments. It got to the point where I could master any video game I wanted. I understood how to get great at any video game. If I wanted to sweat something, I just would become great at it. It's just an inevitability. There's a formula here. When I turned 18, the game I was playing turned to absolute trash. I lost my love for it. Patches destroyed my enthusiasm. Microtransactions made the game worse. My love for it died. My soul wasn't in it no longer. Even though I continued to play for 4 to 5 years after that, I never won anything that was substantial. To this day, I know it's because I no longer loved it anymore. When I was 23, I decided enough was enough, and I quit video games completely. This was the first time in my life that I didn't play a video game for more than 5 hours a day. I started experimenting and I started to consider what I wanted to do with my life. In this time period, I wrote a 30,000 word document of how to become great at any video game. This process was subconscious, but now it became conscious. As the months passed, I saw the evil of the world. I saw psychopaths running the world. The world was a complete fabrication and lie. I wanted to understand how a human being can do the things that these people do. I wanted to understand why evil exists, and thus that began my new journey. Using the principles taken from how to get great at any video game, I decided to find the truth. As time went on, I realized we live inside of a matrix, that the world is a simulation of sorts. I mastered the esoteric black cube of Saturn, the Xbox, and then realized I lived inside of one. Even though I was trying to understand the world I had been placed in and why evil exists, I started coming across secret doctrines. I started coming across the secret truths that make people successful. And because of that original document I wrote, whenever I came across the secret principles, I wrote them down. I realized that these principles were the same principles I was using to get great at any video game. It was just in another aspect. Since the world is a video game, if you can master video games, you can master the world. You may have seen kung fu movies where the master always says, everything is kung fu. If you can get great at kung fu, that will teach you about life. If you get great at kung fu, you can become great at anything. And I started to realize that that was me for video games. I became great at video games, and thus I understand how greatness worked in real life. And I started to see these weird secret doctrines and weird secret teachings, and I inputted this into my document. Even more so, I started to understand why I never became fully successful in the gaming world. That my beliefs, my love was not truly in it. That if you're going to become the best, you must believe and know you will become the best. You must want it with your whole entire soul. One of the meta strategies I learned to become great at any video game is to go directly to the best to ever do it, and through certain exercises extract their knowledge. So I started to do this for the truth. I went to the best of the best to understand how this reality works. And when it comes to truth, you will understand that the people who portray themselves to know everything don't know everything. That is just the surface layer. That is the perception they want you to have. They know absolutely nothing. It took me a year or two to find the actual masters. They don't have big followings, but they know what they're talking about. This is where I found the greatest of truths. What I'm about to say to you is the biggest problem on Earth and the greatest solution to Earth. It's just people don't understand, or they're ignorant. Belief is the matrix. Whatever you believe and know in, that is what you will see in yourself and the world around you. The problem is, you don't understand what belief truly is. You think the millennial slop of believe in yourself is what believe means. They have diluted this truth from humanity. When you say believe in yourself, you think you must be somewhat delusional. No, belief is conviction and knowing. I believe in myself means I know in myself. You have to convict with your whole entire soul, because it is the truth. The sky is blue, and I know with the whole entire soul of my being that I can do this. Conviction. Your belief and knowing control practically everything in your life. There are unlimited options in your life. There are unlimited ways to go about your life. And through belief and knowing programs input onto you, you put this unlimited potential into a box. People believe and know Christianity is the truth. People believe and know atheism is the truth. People believe and know this world is a prison. People believe and know that this world is a school. But they don't believe and know that objective reality doesn't matter that much. You can believe and know in anything you goddamn want to. Belief and knowing is the video game you select to play. Your belief and knowing is the disc you insert into your Xbox 360. You are a console, and you can put any belief and knowing into it. You can believe and know in Christianity. You can believe and know in atheism. You can believe and know that this world is a prison. You can believe and know that this world is a school. And that is the video game you will play. Since your beliefs and knowings control unconscious free will actions, your future free will actions, your perceptions, what is possible, and your entire destiny. If you believe and know you can become great, your free will actions will manifest into that reality, but only if you fully convicted into that truth with the whole of your soul. If you believe and know with the whole of your soul Christianity is the truth, you will go to church every Sunday and believe you are saved because you believe in the right doctrine. If you believe and know in atheism with your whole soul, you will be hedonistic because you will see no consequence to your actions. So, let's ask the question, what is the meta belief and knowing? What is the greatest belief and knowing to insert into your console? It largely depends on what you want in life. As someone who studied truth, I also studied how to complete this video game. I understand that mainly it's for experience, mainly it's for a life journey perhaps. So I put the word complete in quotation marks. But let's ask the question, right? How do you complete this video game? Well, on an individual level, you could say greatness, becoming the greatest possible athlete, becoming the greatest possible scientist, becoming the greatest possible whatever you desire. Maybe it's becoming a family man, bringing up a great family. Maybe it's to change the whole destiny of the world, like Jesus or someone like Napoleon. How do you complete Earth collectively? How do we as a species complete Earth? It might say to live in a divine utopia where there is world peace and no psychopaths controlling the world. Free electricity, meaning and purpose in life. That might be how we complete the Earth video game. So if we want to complete the world individually and collectively, what is the meta belief and knowing for that reality to occur? Is it Christianity? I love Jesus, but sitting in church and believing someone else is going to save you and the world, that's not going to complete you individually or collectively, because you're putting your faith in a deity to do that for you. And who does that serve? Well, that serves the psychopaths, as you believe and know a deity will save you, and thus you won't convict fully in changing the world. Because if Jesus is going to save it for you, why would you do it yourself? So I would argue that no, it is not the meta, the greatest possible belief and knowing to insert for you to complete the game individually or collectively. And it sure as hell isn't atheism or something along those lines. So what is it? Your own greatness, that God has your back, love, and divine unity for all of humanity. I studied the greatest people to ever do it. Mystics, conquerors, geniuses, prophets, artists, Michael Jackson, Napoleon, Einstein, Jesus. Do you know what they all have in common? They all believed and knew God was serving them. They all believed and knew God had their back. So, if this is the meta belief and knowing to insert into your video game console, and if we can change our beliefs and knowings, which we can, because it's just the video game you play, okay, our beliefs and knowings don't need to be rock and solid. They can be like water, as Bruce Lee says. Then surely that's the outcome of this matrix. Surely that is the purpose of this video game we are playing. Because if that's the meta belief and knowing, why would you believe and know in anything else? This truth proves God is real. The very idea that we can't prove God is real in objective reality is proof that God exists. Now hear me out. In a world where you can't prove God exists in objective reality, and when I say God, I'm talking about source. I'm talking in a metaphysical sense where we all come from the same source of energy, and my consciousness in my head that's speaking is the exact same consciousness in your head that's watching, with zero differences. If God is real, this world is the only world in all worlds and universes where faith, belief and knowing in God can exist. Because if you can prove God exists in objective reality, faith wouldn't exist. Because you wouldn't need faith. You would just know because it's the truth in objective reality. This is the only place where faith can exist. When you look at meta in video games, it's a specific gun. It's a specific skill or movement. The video game designers are kind of stupid, right? And they never decide, or they usually don't decide what the meta is. But God knows everything. It's the source of all creation. It doesn't die. There's no time outside the fourth dimension. He always is and always will be. This source would be very, very deliberate about what the meta is. Look at the human body. Look at a leaf. These creations are designed intentionally on the microscopic level. He would decide what the meta is, and he would be purposeful of deciding what the meta is. So you could make the argument that the meta, belief and knowing, is the truth because he made it that way. So is the meta, belief and knowing, to complete the world individually and collectively, atheism? Hell no. Is it Christianity? No. Is there any of these religions? No. It's believing that God has your back, your own greatness, love, and divine unity for all of humanity. And if we all believed and knew this to be true, because it's the meta, why wouldn't you believe and know it to be true? Then that reality would occur. And if we got to that reality and God and the source of all creation doesn't exist, who cares? Right? We completed the video game individually and collectively. You have to detach from that, right? You have to have the mentality that, yeah, I'm going to complete the earth individually and collectively, because why would you do anything else? Thus, we should decide to believe and know in the meta, regardless if God created the meta, because it's the meta. Why would you believe and know in atheism if it isn't the meta? The very existence that this is the meta proves that it's real, and you must believe that it to be the case, because that's the meta, and because belief is the matrix. So why don't people believe and know and put this belief and knowing within themselves? Because they don't believe it's the truth, but belief is the matrix. You can believe and know in anything you want. If you want to change the world, if you want to achieve greatness in any skill, field or purpose, if you want to change the trajectory of your life and the world, you can check out my book, or you can check out my school community where I will make it my own personal will to change your life.